The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 50 dose of the Daily Mother Swole. Today, going over why sexy is better than healthy. Now, for years and years, you're gonna get some good talking points, on here. Maybe we'll get some feedback from the crowd on Periscope and Busker. For years, healthy was, during when aerobics kicked around, it was like Richard Simmons and Jane Fonda's step classes. It was all about healthy, just, doing cardio and losing weight, doing aerobics, just the healthy. I mean, people weren't looking fantastic because they didn't really get into weight training. That didn't get popular until the 90s. And once people started lifting more weights, it became more of a superficial. I mean, people have always cared about how they looked, but that superficial aspect started taking over a little bit more. People started getting a little bit more into the way they look, into building shape, into building muscle structure. And obviously up until now, that's like the biggest thing. People don't really care that much about health. They care more about looking a certain way. But here's the thing. Looking a certain way is oftentimes directly correlated to health benefits from exercise. If you're lean, if you look good, if you have muscle structure, if you have shape, if you have figure, wouldn't you say in general a person that looks like that is healthier than someone who doesn't? That usually correlates directly to muscle development towards years or months, toiling away in the gym. I'm not talking about steroids, I'm not talking about supplements and taking other things, but obesity is a major, major cause and a major factor in a lot of these metabolic diseases, diabetes. A lot of these things are directly related. They're not even sure 100% why, which is why they haven't cured it. They're not 100% sure why, but obesity, like stomach fat and certain fat in certain areas, just overweight, is a direct correlation to getting a lot of these metabolic diseases. And you really don't have that if you look by most subjective methods sexy. Now that's like I said, very subjective, meaning it depends on the person's opinion. What one person thinks is beautiful or sexy, another person might think is hideous. On Busker, it's the foods we're making, people just too lazy to change it. Yeah, foods are going to relate to that. But people have been overweight for 100 years. Now, one of the interesting things that's going to break me off into a tangent, I was going to get into that. Let's get into that now. The father of sports medicine, Hans Kraus, he was a German, I believe he was from Germany, German sports, really the father of sports medicine. He was the first person to correlate people that were active, how they healed better. When they had broken bones, they would heal faster than people who were sedentary. He started studying gymnasts and people that did the circus acting, how they would sprain their ankle, but they could keep on performing every night, like how they would recover faster, what they would do to repair and rehab themselves, without knowing science, just by trial and error, icing but keeping mobility rather than, they used to put sprains in a cast. When you got a sprained ankle, you used to put that in a cast, which is like it's the worst thing you could possibly do is immobilize a sprained joint completely. It would stiffen and you'd have scar tissue and limited mobility for the rest of your life. Broken bones are different, but sprains, you're not supposed to keep that immobile for that long. And he was the first person to realize that people that were active or athletes, when they broke a bone, they would heal a lot quicker than someone who was a couch potato or worked in an office setting. And one of these interesting concepts is in his books, and he wrote books back in the 40s and 50s, he was saying how the United States was the fattest, most overweight, laziest country in the world. And this is 100 years ago. So the big misconception is that this is new for our country, that this is something, wow, because of the 70s and 80s and all the increase in sugar. This has been happening for almost 100 years, since the 40s and 50s. So there has been, and it's literature, it's printed, and it's been printed by a man, by a scientist, almost 100 years ago, that the United States is the weakest, the kids were the most out of shape. And he used references like when in Europe, kids could throw a ball further, they could run farther, they could run faster, they could jump farther. And he didn't get really technical into all the different muscles. He did a whole thing on stretching and, it was basic, like bend over, touch your toes, reach up. It wasn't like, oh, the adductor magnus lengthens and it's inhibiting this. The science wasn't that developed. It wasn't that detailed. But he discovered and he realized and he observed that the United States was still sluggish and still lazy in comparison to other countries. And this is in the 40s and 50s. This is obviously no different than it is today. And TV was just coming out, but kids used to watch the radio. Kids were sitting in front of the screens. In other countries like Europe, kids were running around. But anyway, sexy, looking a certain way is not a bad thing. Stop thinking about looking sexy or being sexy or working out. And I talk to a lot of people that want to see results, and I think they feel guilty when I ask them their why. Why do you want to feel a certain way? Why do you want to work out? Why do you want to get in shape? And I think a lot of people, they feel almost embarrassed or they feel self-conscious about wanting to be in shape for that reason, to look good for women, to look good for, to look sexy. And that is just one of the concepts that I want to eliminate. The fact that people have to not lie, but be inauthentic with themselves. Don't be inauthentic with yourself. Don't deny what you're really doing. Don't deny your why. One of the things with the why that I always talk about is your core. That's your burning fire. That's your furnace. That's what's going to keep you motivated to go to the gym day in and day out. If you don't know your why and you don't have a good grasp on that, whether or not it's to look a certain way, whether it's not to look good in a bikini, whether it's not to make your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend jealous, those are all viable options. Whatever your reason is, whatever's going to get you in the gym every day, whatever's going to get you working out and working towards your goal, that's fine. I don't care. I have my own reasons. You could have your own reasons. You need to have your own reasons because you're the one that's going to have to get up and go to the gym every day. You're the one that's going to have to push through those workouts and eat certain foods every day. Okay? So you're the one that needs to develop these aspects. You're the one that needs to hone on these goals. You're the one that needs to develop these driving forces. And sexy and feeling proud of yourself, feeling proud of your body, and feeling, just confident. That is a very, 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 very good reason to work out because you should. You should feel sexy. You should feel confident. You should feel powerful. You should feel strong. You should have that air about you in life. And that's very healthy. That's very healthy. That's very natural. So sexy is the new healthy. Sexy is more important than healthy. Sexy is going to be more of a driving factor than, work out 3 days a week so I can decrease my risk. No, you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. You're going to fuck better. You're going to recover better. You're not going to get sick as much. These are things that are tangible. These are things that actually will have a result in your life, will have a direct impact on your quality of life. Feeling better about yourself is what's going to relate to everything else. How you treat people, how you treat yourself, how you feel in group situations, how you feel in public speaking, how you feel when you're going for a job interview, how you feel when you're going out on a first date. All these things make a big difference. You don't necessarily want to admit that to yourself. You don't want to necessarily admit that to other people and to those around you, but it's still the truth. And my point is, the sooner that you admit this to yourself, the sooner you can figure out really why you're doing this or why you want to, and the more directly you can attack your goals, and the better you would adhere to those goals. Okay? Let's take a couple questions. Is it bad I lift to get bigger than my older brother so they stop beating me up? That's a good reason. Get stronger. If you're lifting so they can stop beating you up, you might also want to look into some kind of jiu-jitsu or some kind of martial arts. An arm bar is probably a lot more valuable and strategic and easily implemented than years of lifting to put on size. But you'll feel stronger, and I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not trying to be, emasculate any dudes, but man, a guy should have muscle. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not saying skinny guys are terrible or that I hate, I think skinny guys are pussies. No, but I think a man should be powerful. I think a man should be strong. I think it's a shame to let the human body go to waste. I think everyone has the potential to max out your natural capacity. The way I'm going to look from hard training is different than the way you're going to look. And that's just a fact. You're never going to look like me. At the same time, I'm never going to look like you. Okay? You might be smarter than me. You might be able to do better on algebra tests. That's fine. That might just be the way you're wired. You might never have biceps the same shape, but you can definitely have biceps as well defined, as well developed as you could possibly have them yourself. Okay? So that's really what I'm here to talk about sexiness being a power for you. Sexiness is not something to shy away. It's not superficial. It will drive everything else. It will make you healthier. It will make you more confident, and it can very well make you a better person. It doesn't have to be a superficial, like, oh, I'm so pretty, I'm Kim Kardashian. It's not like that kind of bullshit. That's a whole other psychosis. But feeling self-confident, sexy, self-confident, that's what it's going to come down to. And yeah, I am a motivational speaker, but I'm a truth speaker. I'm just telling you the truth. And that's from training hundreds and thousands of clients. And that's doing it myself. And I understand because I know I want to feel good about myself. Whether or not you like the way I look, first off, that's your opinion. Second off, I don't give a shit because I like the way I look and I feel good about myself. And I'm always striving to improve, but I'm happy with where I am. So I get all sorts of comments on Periscope and Busker, and I know people are trying to shake me off my, and rattle me. Ain't gonna happen. You can say whatever you want. Good fucking luck trying to shake me out of my zone. I don't care what you say. You can say anything on here. If you're unnecessarily rude and you insult other people on here, I'm gonna block you in 2 seconds. But otherwise, I don't care what you say about me. That's one thing that, not to get too far off topic, but when you're a kid, it's like, oh, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You say that when you're 2 years old, 3 years old, and 4 years old, and then all of a sudden you get older and everyone gets butthurt when you say something and, oh my God, you said the wrong things, and someone has to go on the news and apologize. What happened to sticks and stones? Why can't you say anything you want and someone else being like, it only affects you if you let it. Get over it. Some idiot said something, oh, he said some bad words about me. Stop being a pussy. Get over it. Brush it off your shoulder, Jay-Z style. It's done. Some dude or some person said some bad words. Oh, it's so sad. Get over yourself. No one cares. No one cares about you. No one cares about your problems. No one cares about your feelings. Only you do. And maybe the people that really love you, your true friends. Get over yourself. There's 7 billion people in the world. Do you really matter? Do you really matter? Yeah, you matter to the people that you touch, the people that you influence. But come on. Feelings are just a figment of your imagination. You can control your world, control everything. And that's part of what lifting does. It gives you confidence. It gives you self-control. It gives you discipline. It gives you patience. It gives you a lot of different things. In short, sexy is the new healthy. Go to the gym. Go for sexy. Healthy will come. Don't go short. If you go sexy, you're going to train harder. If you go healthy, you're going to do the bare minimum. My doctor said do 30 minutes of cardio. Your doctor doesn't really care that much if you live or die. He kind of wants you sick. He makes more money. So put only so much stock in the medical field, in all honesty, okay? They make a lot of money off your off prescriptions. How about the whole don't say anything unless it's something nice to say? Yeah. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Sure. But a lot of people are stupid and they're going to say things that are bad. But it's also, some people are going to say things that are idiotic, that are immature. But it's up to you. Like, are you going to take that personally? Are you going to take offense? Are you going to sue? That's slander. You said naughty things about me. So what? So what? Get over it. A lot of times people just say something because they want a reaction. Then they get a reaction like, yeah. Why do you think, for example, Kanye made that video? I did the whole podcast and Daily Swole on it yesterday. He made that video for people's attention. He's like, I hope someone sues me. He wants attention. He's smart. There's no such thing as bad publicity. If everyone sued him, he would be so super popular. I'm sure it probably just hasn't been released yet. He did like a private screening. Yeah. I think it's on a couple pay sites. They're probably like leaking it slowly because it's going to be really popular and it's going to be really viral. But it's, it's attention. It's attention. That's why Snapchat's popular. It's attention. People are fighting for other people's attention. You have a billion things on the internet and a billion ways to go. Everyone's fighting for that. Everyone's fighting for eyes. You're on Periscope right now watching me. You're a busker. There's a 1,000 or 1,000,000 people on Periscope, everyone wants your eyes, and you're watching me. So I'm grateful for that. So I try to give good information. It's still my opinions, but a lot of it is, I would like to think, a little more truthful or realistic, but at the same time, it's still coming from my mouth. So, that's just the way it is. But sexy is the new healthy. Go for sexy. You'll get the health benefits, and you'll actually get more health benefits if you go for sexy. If you go for sexy, you get more health benefits. I challenge you to go for sexy and not get healthier than if you just did the bare minimum, just to do government, for example, minimum requirements. Okay? So remember, if you follow me, I'm here every day at 12 noon Eastern time, sometimes a couple minutes after, if I get stuck in traffic or this, that, and the other, but I'm always here, Daily Swole, every day, posted on YouTube. I'm also on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. I broadcast live on Periscope and Busker at the same time. Also, those of you that have not signed up yet for Swolenormous Premium, today at 1 o'clock, which is going to be in 20 minutes, passing out some more files. We're doing our first accountability meeting. This is where I deliver additional information, but I really give you the assistance to get you where you need to go. So Swolenormous Premium is just more direct. It's pretty much group accountability, group training. There's videos, there's workout videos, there's guidance, there's accountability, there's the social aspect, and a lot of nutritional information. And pretty much we do weekly accountability meetings. It's just started last week, so it's really fantastic. You can also go to my website, www.swolenormous.com, same as my username, anywhere, YouTube, it's just Swolenormous. You can look up the spelling. My website, and you can click Get Premium here. It's $4.99 a month for the first 100 people, so it's dirt cheap. And all my information I give here, I know I talk a lot of highbrow stuff. I know I go really in depth, which is great. I have that information, but in Swolenormous Premium, I actually take that information and I deliver it in a way where you will actually see results this week. So it's all about making that commitment to make change. You can go online, my website, you can sign up. You'll get access to the application to fill out before you enter the group. So you can outline your goals and give a little breakdown to me to let me know that you're serious about making some change. And then we get started. So it's the real deal. It's legit, and it's awesome. So I encourage everyone to check it out. If you value my material and you want it delivered in a way that you can apply it today, check out swolenormous.com and sign up for Swolenormous Premium. It's a great private, secret, closed Facebook group on Facebook. And you get my ebook and all this other kind of information and the paperwork to get started and the information and the ways and the method to initiate your change, whether it's muscle growth, whether it's flexibility, whether it's weight loss, it's all right there. So thank you very much for joining. I got to get on that pony right now. I will see everyone tomorrow for episode 53 of The Daily Mother Swole. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining, as always, on all media platforms. See you mañana. Peace out.
Another.